I've been thinking a lot about simplicity lately. Simplicity in the art I create, simplicity in the tools I use to create that art, and just simplicity when it comes to life in general. So today I decided to take you through the simple process I use to create my most recent painting. And whether you're here to paint along with me or you just want to enjoy the video and take a break, welcome. You won't need too many things to complete this project. I'll put links to all the stuff I use in the description below, but there's no need to focus too much on the specifics. You'll need some kind of watercolor paper. Here I'm using 300-pound Arches paper. I wanted to try this paper out because I was told it would warp a lot less under heavy water, and after painting with this I can attest to that, but more on that later. You'll need a basic set of watercolors, and don't worry about how many colors you have, as we'll be using a very limited palette. Here I'm using the Grumbacher 12 color set. Now any kind of watercolor brush will do the trick, but I like working with this Snap 20 round. I found it at the local art store. It's a nice size in my hand, and since we're really not doing any detail work in this painting, it's all I'll need today. You'll also need masking tape or washi tape so we can get those crisp, clean lines. And of course, a cup of water. Oh, and last but not least, with this project, you'll need masking fluid. Here I'm using the Winsor & Newton stuff, and it's the only thing I've got experience with in that regard, and it seems to work great. I forgot to mention that I used this 2H drawing pencil to sketch out my trees. You definitely don't have to do this. You can just go right in with the masking fluid, but I do like to sketch my ideas out. Just keep this real loose. Do whatever you like to do. You're not going to be able to follow these lines exactly with the masking fluid anyway. I'm trying to keep a little bit of a rough texture with these guys here, so just real loose sketch. One other thing I forgot to mention is an old watercolor brush, or one that you don't care about, is good for using with the masking fluid, because it does have a tendency to gum up those bristles, and it kind of makes it unusable for normal painting. So I do have one that's set aside just for that purpose. So I tried to keep my spacing a little bit random. I did do some counting back and forth to make sure I had some balance in the piece. But I've got some fatter ones and some thinner ones here, as you can see. All right, in this step I'm just wetting things down real good. Since it's such heavy paper, I did add a little bit more water than I would have if I was using 140-pound paper. And once you've got everything wetted down sufficiently, it's time to get into those colors. Now I'm just using the basic cobalt blue color and the brown color that comes with this set. Those probably not the official names, but I'm not too worried about that. Every set has a blue and a brown, I think. I'm going in with mostly water here, so I'm diluting my blue with a little bit of that brown and going in with a very, very light color to start. And all I do is add a little bit of pigment as I go, so the next layer will have a little bit more pigment. The idea is mountains here, but just general forms in the background. Again, it's going to be a real clean and simple design, not a lot of detail at all. One more layer here, just a little bit darker. I'm using the wet on wet technique here, so I'm not letting the layers dry in between. I want a real smooth transition between one color and the other color. If you let the layer dry completely, then you'll end up with a hard edge between those spaces, but I just wanted a real nice flow. Now this paper is very absorbent, so be careful to really layer it well. In this case, I thought I might have gone a little bit too heavy, but I think it came out looking pretty good. And actually, funny thing, I actually went in with one more coat here. Just a little bit darker. Yeah, I thought it wasn't quite dark enough. And as you can see, I've lost a little bit of that wet on wet, so you'll see a little bit of the cauliflower effect there on the top of that last row of color. I don't think it detracted from the painting at all, but it's interesting to note that. All right, so this is the fun part. Just grab some cellophane, or you can use your finger, but I like to use plastic to put over my finger and just start rubbing that masking fluid away. You've got nice crisp lines, and I kept my trees a little bit jaggedy on purpose here, and I just think it came out great. This part is a blast. Almost as much fun as peeling the tape off the entire painting at the end. All right, and here we go, the big reveal. I hope you guys love this part as much as I do. It just doesn't quite look like a painting until you've taken the tape away and you've got those clean edges. All right, and there you go. I'm super happy with the way this came out. I'm interested to hear what you guys think. Please let me know in the comments below. I do read every single one, and I love to converse with you guys back and forth. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts. If you're interested in this painting, it is at the time of this publishing still available in my Etsy store. And of course, prints will be available as well. And all that information is in the comments down below. If you like this sort of video, please think about subscribing to the channel. It helps me out a lot. See you guys next time.